Welcome to the Razer TSL Finals. That is right. I am Artosis and I am here today with Chill, and we will be broadcasting this for you. TSL, it started, what was that, 2 months ago or so. It started out with over 1,700 people and over 30,000 games played. And here we are. We only have 2 people left. It's just amazing that we got this far. Yesterday we saw the finals between Noni and Brat OK. Brat OK, of course, took that, so he's in 3rd, Noni in 4th place, and now we're going to see just the final match, Draco against JF. What do you think about that, Chill?
Well, I think it's a super exciting map, given the backstory behind this. JF, an up-and-coming, kind of younger Protoss player, whereas Draco, not really washed up, but went to Korea and now he's been back. He's not even really practicing anymore. So I mean, just the dichotomy between the two makes it really interesting in that regard, and even their play styles. I mean, JF, the king of the shuttle, the king of the Reaver, and Draco, just with his perfect mechanics, making probes. It's going to be a really, really interesting match. And we saw yesterday, we saw Brat OK beating Noni, and Noni did look a little off. He stole game 3 with a bit of a continual cheese, proxy gating into Dark Templar, and of course Brat OK canceling his engineering bay. That was just disastrous, and that let Noni steal the 2nd game. But Brat OK really just looking dominant in that matchup. So Brat OK finishing 3rd, and Noni finishing 4th. So we're going to see Brat OK seeded directly into TSL2 into the round of 16, and of course both the 2nd and 1st place finishers will also be seeded in there. What are we playing for today? The winner is going to take home $5,000 US and be crowned the TSL Season 1 champion, and 2nd place is going to finish with $2,000 and get that silver medal for the TSL Season 1.
And if I could say so myself, that is a big deal, because Razer TSL, this is the biggest event that we have had outside of Korea. It is just such a big deal. Everyone is just watching this. I mean, people from all different games, everyone has appreciation for StarCraft. Everyone has appreciation for this event. It is just an amazing event. And so this is fame, this is fortune, this is everything to these 2 players, and they are just so good to have made it through this crowd of people. And so let's talk about the maps today. I mean, it's Protoss, so the map balance isn't going to matter too much. It's the same race fighting itself. So we're not going to see oh, this is a Protoss owns Protoss map. No, nothing like that. Maybe some positional imbalances, but anyways, to the maps. The first map today is going to be Othello, the map that's played twice. Now, from the games that we've seen here on Othello, Draco, we saw him play, he was a little bit safe in playing against Noni, whereas when we saw JF play a PvP here, he was quite aggressive with his Reavers, harassing Cloud and then pushing in on him.
Yeah, I mean, we can go over it as many times as we want. JF and his shuttle control, his Reaver control, just impeccable. And as we said before, Othello having those cliffs really favors the shuttle play. We saw Noni actually get a little unlucky against Draco, a Zealot giving vision above the ramp to a Dragoon, where it shouldn't have, and then the Dragoon fired and took out the shuttle. That was really unfortunate for Noni. But I mean, the key themes in the Draco-Noni game that we saw were Draco just having such a strong economy. I mean, he never misses a probe, and even when the opponent expands faster, Draco somehow manages to get more supply and more units off of that. So that will probably come into play. I don't know. I would say Othello plays into JF's hands. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Artosis?
I do have to agree with you. JF, I think we're going to see a lot of strong mid-game play from JF today. he knows that Draco has just the best mechanics of pretty much anyone outside of Korea, so he's not going to be trying to beat him on that. I think we're going to see, you know, a lot of shuttle harassing type techniques from him, and that's really good for Othello. So yeah, I think that this does lean a little bit towards JF.
And again, I mean, just Protoss versus Protoss, a lot of people find it a little boring. A lot of Protosses open with the same sort of builds, and they just play against each other, and it just comes down to one mistake, and then the other one cleans up. But I think, given the two-player styles, we're going to see a lot of differing openings, and it's going to come down to how well one player can counter the other in terms of openings, as opposed to mechanics and tactics. And so I think that's really going to make this final quite interesting. Despite being Protoss versus Protoss, their mechanics are just very high, and they have such differing styles. It's going to be quite exciting to watch.
Oh, definitely, and you know, I'm so excited. Let's just go. Hit it, Hotbit. And here we are, the Razer TSL Finals. We have Draco against JF, an amazing PvP match on the way. This first map is Othello. We have JF with Protoss in the top left. We have Draco with Protoss in the bottom right. And the first thing I got to point out here is there is no positional disadvantage here whatsoever. They both have their minerals up against the wall, so it's not particularly bad against Reaver harassment. And being a cross map like this, no one's gonna, you know, have an easier path to attack on. So it looks like we're gonna open up with a very even game here. And look at this already, Draco scouting right out before his first pylon. Looks like he may be going up to proxy something right now. You know, you don't usually see this PvP, and especially out of Draco. He has played such solid PvPs against Noni, as we saw last week. And look at that, a pylon in the middle of the map. It looks like he is going to be proxying against JF.
Yeah, this first game, wow, we're starting off very exciting already. This proxy is basically going to determine the game. And look where Draco's put it. JF's probe is probably going to go right around that position and not really have an idea that Draco's proxying until his probe gets to the bottom right. Pylon finished now, 150 minerals, there goes the first gateway. It's probably going to be some sort of two-gate Zealot rush, and if JF opens up with the Dragoon opening, he's really going to be in a lot of trouble. Here comes the first probe, but of course we can see it's going to just skirt right by and miss that pylon.
You know, this is really cool by Draco. Very smart move. Look at that. There goes the second gateway up. And, you know, for him to do something like this with so many of his PvPs out there, he beat White Raw, he beat Noni. People have seen his PvPs, and they know how he plays. He's been playing a very safe game, a very strong game. And to proxy against JF, it's a really cool, smart move, and JF is not going to be expecting this. And look at this, Draco scouts him right away. JF going for that gas. No Zealot making yet at all. So this Zealot rush can catch JF extremely off guard.
Yeah, just so unfortunate that JF has decided to open up Dragoons. He's got his Cybernetics core going. Now the Zealot is making, but if we look at the gateways of Draco, his first Zealot is almost out, and the second one is making now. But JF's probe is heading towards the bottom right position, and a Manor Pylon up in JF's main. That's just going to make everything all that much worse for him. I mean, his economy's shattered already, and now he's going to have to deal with the Zealots. That's going to be terrible. But Jeff's probe scouting Draco's main, so now he knows it is a proxy. He sees nothing down there, and he's got to get ready, knowing that there's probably Zealots heading to his base immediately.
Yeah, JF knows exactly what's going on now. His core warps in. He's getting that second gateway. He has just one Zealot, so there we go, a Dragoon making. He's going to have to delay with this Zealot while he tries to get the Dragoons out. And now we have the first Zealot of Draco in the base of JF attacking this pylon, and JF coming up with his Zealot attacking that Zealot. But more Zealots on the way from Draco here. And Draco looks like he wants to take out this pylon. Only one pylon powering all these buildings up top for JF. So if he does manage to kill it, it's a very huge deal. But JF quickly makes another pylon. He's going to pop out another goon, and Draco's looking in good position. 3 Zealots just pounding on everything. Finally a Dragoon comes out, and now JF is going to have to micro.
Oh, he actually snipes the probe with the Dragoon. JF knows he can't trade Zealots for Zealots because he's down a gateway, so he's really trying to stall with this Dragoon. That Manor Pylon is still up, just causing economical damage. 2 Zealots working on that Dragoon, taking its shields out already. And now we've got 2 Zealots back here just working on probes, and another one working on the pylon. JF is just getting swarmed by Zealots. Manor Pylon gets taken out, the Dragoon goes down, and there's 3 Zealots left in JF's probe line. Here comes a Dragoon to try to help this, but this looks terrible for JF.
Oh, this is getting really bad for JF here. He's killing a lot of probes. He's losing a lot of mining time here. Draco is pulling quite far ahead with these 2 Zealots. But, you know, his lack of tech may hurt him a little bit later. And another Zealot in the probe line takes down yet another probe. JF has lost a lot of his economy here, but he does have that tech, so he is definitely not out of this game yet. And another probe goes down. Every probe that he loses is just so painful. In the meantime, Draco has not put up a core. He has not put up gas, nothing at all. He is just all in with these Zealots. And there we go, finally a gas in Draco's main. But these Zealots just look like they're not going to do anything else. He is trying to kill a couple more probes. And there he goes. He gets yet another probe. Another probe. Draco just relentless. Another probe goes down. These Dragoons are getting pot shots on these Zealots, but he is just killing so many probes. JF's economy is really trashed right now.
Yeah, I don't think Draco's going to be able to finish him with just continual Zealots. He's probably going to have to switch to something else, but JF's economy is just so terrible at this point. He's basically gonna die once Draco decides to switch to something else. I think I can count his probes on about a hand and a foot. He's mining. Oh, and the Zealot actually gets shuffled through the mineral line. And JF has shown some incredible defense. It's just unfortunate for him that the build order differential happened like this. And oh, JF is putting up a proxy pylon. So what is he gonna try to do at the bottom right to try to get back into this game?
Oh, Jeff's going to have to do something really clever here. You know, he does have this tech advantage right now, and he may want to try to press it. But we see Draco right now. He has 2 Zealots outside of JF's natural there, one on each side. So when the Dragoons do come out, if they do come out to try to pressure Draco back for having a lack of tech, then you know, that one Zealot will run away and the other one will go into JF's main and kill even more probes. So JF, he's in a very, very hard position right now. He's only got 20 supply against Draco's 29, so you know, Draco is definitely ahead right now. And here we go. He pushes down with those Dragoons, and look at that. The Zealot is slipping right by, but JF knew something was up, and he is running right back. He's going to block that ramp with the Dragoon, and there he goes. He blocks that right away. That is a wasted Zealot there from Draco.
And back at the proxy pylon at the bottom right, we have a Citadel of Adun down and a proxy gateway. So JF is going to try to move into Dark Templar to get back into the game. We see in Draco's main, he's actually made a forge, so he could have an idea this is coming. Just wants to cannon up and play safe, and he's actually got 2 gateways in his main, starting Dragoon range. Yeah, there goes the cannon. So JF's proxy Dark Templar are going to be largely ineffective. They may be able to hold Draco back a bit, but Draco has quite a few probes and quite a few gateways more than JF. So I mean, Draco is going to be solidly in the lead despite JF trying to get back in with Dark Templar.
Yeah, you know, Draco's playing very smart right now. I really like that opening. And he's just following up with very safe play. He knows he's in the lead, and he just wants to work that lead. You know, he wants to win this tournament. Do not be fooled when he's telling everyone he is not practicing, because he has definitely put a lot of thought into this build order, as we have seen. And, you know, these DTs, I am not sure what they're going to be able to do for JF here. There is only one cannon right now, so he may be able to push up the ramp a little bit, you know, pick off a couple units, a probe, a pylon, something like that. And every little thing JF does is going to matter a real lot, because he's just, you know, he's so behind right now. His probe count is much lower than Draco's.
If we look at the supplies though, JF sitting at 40 and Draco sitting at 41. Draco looks like he's sending out a probe. He wants to expand, but he sees the blur of the Dark Templar and immediately runs. So that if JF can get an expansion up, he may be able to get back in the game just with double the probe production than Draco. Draco putting down a robotics facility, but of course observers are quite a ways away. JF is just going to work on these Dragoons and of course stopping Draco from expanding. And really, I think he should be putting down an expansion to try to get back in the game. 2 cannons in the main of Draco is going to guard everything. JF will be able to go to work on basically this outlying pylon, but everything else looks pretty secure in Draco's main.
It's so true, and he really should be making a Nexus here. But look, he's running right in, killing a few probes before that cannon warps in. So that's a nice play by JF there. You know, anything he can pick off at all is just so big right now. But it looks like JF wants to go all in. He's just pumping out Zealots, and now he has leg speed. Look at this as naturally. He has several Zealots with his few initial Dragoons. So he is going to be definitely doing some sort of all-in attack here on Draco. But Draco, he's playing so safe right now. You know, he's got those 2 gates in his main, just constantly pumping. He's teching right up to observers. He's got some cannons. So I'm not sure if JF is going to be able to break him here.
And look at this, the Nexus going down at JF's natural. So he's trying to hold on to his expansion, just using Dark Templar to keep Draco in his main. And then he's trying to hold his expansion with Speedy Zealots against the Dragoon Heavy Army of Draco. I mean, I'm just in shock that JF is still alive, to be honest. He killed about like a dozen Zealots with 2 or 3 Dragoons. It was just amazing. He lost a lot of probes, but for him to be back in the game and expanding at this point, that's just incredible out of JF.
You know, that's really weird. You know, he gets those leg speed on the Zealots. It really looks like it should be an offensive move, but he's using it defensively. And, you know, that's pretty cool, because when Draco tries to come out with this Observer, as he's doing right now, you know, I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything against the Speed Zealots. You know, in small amounts, Speed Zealots beat Dragoons. So, you know, the 2 gates versus 2 gates, it looks like JF may have a very safe expansion up.
And here we go, Draco moving in towards the center of the map. Looks like JF wants to meet him in the center, not waiting to fight at his natural. He's moving in, just trying to take down these gateways. And there's actually a unit coming out of that gateway, so that Dragoon does not get made. And Draco looks like he decides to back off, seeing how big JF's army surprisingly is. Second gateway going to go down, and the pylon gets taken out. So really good play by JF so far. Looks like Draco wants to engage. JF coming back, just waiting for a few more reinforcements, letting his natural get up, and just delaying for the last possible moment, so he'll have the biggest army he can to deal with Draco. And Draco grouping up. Is he going to move in? Looks like he decides to actually come back.
Now, this is a somewhat weird choice here by JF. He's kind of going into even more safe play instead of, you know, making more and more units to make sure he doesn't get rolled over. He's getting this quick robo. So I'm expecting we're going to see some observers really quickly. And yes, there we go, the observatory going up. So he does not want to be DT'd in return. And, you know, if Draco doesn't make something happen pretty quickly here, JF, of course, is going to get way ahead on pro production. And with a stronger economy and more tech, you know, that's really great. But we see Draco, he's making a Reaver right now. He's got the shuttle already, so definitely we're going to see him try to bust up against JF here, and that Reaver is going to come in really handy against all of these Speed Zealots.
And here comes Draco. He's found the proxy. Going to take out the Templar Archives first, then go to work on the Citadel so it can't be backed up. And JF is so quick, he's backed up his Templar Archives already, so he's still going to have that tech remaining despite losing the Citadel. And looks like Draco doesn't want to expand. He wants to try to finish it with a mass unit Reaver push. He's waiting for the second Reaver, and we've seen this quite effective in the past. Just the person with 2 Reavers and a shuttle cracking the person who expanded faster and just has mass units. It's quite effective, and looks like that's the style he's looking to play.
And right now, their supply's very close. We have Draco. He's almost at 100 supply off of 1 base. You don't see that too often. And JF, he's sitting tight at 90. So this is going to come down to a really micro-intensive battle here. Draco, though, look at the amount of Dragoons he has. He has so many Dragoons here. It's going to be really hard for JF to hold, but he has added a lot of gateways. He has 5 gates right now, and he's adding a forge. So, you know, maybe some +1, maybe a cannon or 2. And Here we go. Draco, he's moving up towards the center of the map now. This is going to be a really exciting battle. He has 2 Reavers in that shuttle. So those 2 Reavers are going to be absolutely critical. He's going to have to keep those alive, target those speed zealots, and his army is looking like it could definitely break JF's Expo here.
And of course JF, the Lord of the Reaver, let's see how he can do when he's using basic units against the Reaver. He's got 2 High Templar coming, but no Storm researching, so he's looking to make Archons, it looks like. Draco moving in. JF's army is a little forward, a little out of position. Draco just grouping up, getting everything together, and now moving in. JF's army's all split. Looks like he's decided to move in. No, now he's pulling back. The Reavers get dropped, get a Scarab off, and just JF is losing a ton of units here. Another Scarab goes off, hitting a ton of Dragoons, and JF's army is just melting under the Dragoon and Reaver fire of Draco. It's going to be very difficult for him to hold this off.
That's right, JF. You know, he is losing his army. Here he goes. He's engaging once again, and he is losing everything. Those 2 Reavers are just peeling him apart. And looks like we have just a little bit of lag right here. But as you can see, Draco, look at this. So many Dragoons. He's losing almost no units. Very nice micro by him. Targeting those Scarabs exactly where he needs them. Dancing the Dragoons back. And JF looks like he's going to have to pull up his ramp. There's no way he's going to stop this down on the low ground here. But look at this. He's attacking with the Archon with a couple Dragoons. But the Reaver's just plowing against this Archon.
Yeah, I think at this point it's going to be almost next to impossible for JF to get back in the game. He's going to lose his expansion. That was his only hope at getting this mass units to work against the higher tech of Draco. He's got a Dark Templar in the back kind of working on some Dragoons. Looks like no Observer for Draco back there. So that Dark Templar working on the Reavers. Looks like Draco coming back now, deciding to pull back against that Dark Templar. No Observer yet for Draco still. The Dark Templar just going to work on these units, and I mean, once the Observer comes, I don't know how JF is going to be able to defend this.
That's so true. Once that Observer gets up there, that is it. He's going to lose that Nexus for sure, but JF's still pumping some probes out of it. There we go. He cancels them away. And Draco looks like he just wants to go up and finish it. But there are a lot of Dragoons right now. If Draco suicides his army, JF could be back in the game once again. So we'll just have to see if Draco plays it slow here. I think he will. He definitely knows how to win when he's in the lead. And Draco, he has taken that natural down at his base. So his economy is just ahead. His army is ahead. He is ahead in tech. He is just looking very good right now.
Yeah, it looks like Draco wants to move up the ramp using the Reavers to support his army. JF, I mean, really, what can he get done at this point? He really has to use the high ground to his advantage, hope that Draco makes a mistake, but there's no reason for Draco to really attack other than finishing the game. He's ahead on expansions, he's ahead on economy. The onus is really on JF to get something done, but coming through this ramp against Reavers, it's going to be next to impossible for JF to do anything. So really, it's I don't know, it's nearly impossible for JF at this point. I really don't think he's going to be able to get back in unless he has some sort of insane storms or Draco makes a huge mistake.
Indeed, but he is playing for $5,000 and a lot of fame, so he is going to try something at least, and we see he's making several speed zealots here. It looks like he's going to run those down in front of the Dragoons, you know, try to surround a few Dragoons, run his goons down the ramp, and maybe break out of this Draco contain, and this is definitely going to be his last-ditch effort. Draco right now, he's just massing, rallying all of his gates up right towards JF's base, and here we go, the speed zealots running out, surrounding some Dragoons, JF quickly running down the ramp, but these Scarabs are just destroying the speed zealots, so many falling down, and Draco's army is just too much here. JF is losing everything, and there's just no chance for him to win from here. A nice side storm going off, damages a couple Dragoons, but JF's army is just melting under this pressure. Draco up at 100 supply, JF at just under 70, and look at this, the last of his units dying, and Draco is going to take game 1 on Othello. GG, JF taps out.
Wow, what a wild start to this TSL Finals. I mean, we saw kind of a cheesy all-in by Draco, and JF actually survived cheese himself to try to get back in with Dark Templar. Really interesting and really quite a dynamic game. JF, you know, just incredible play by him to survive the Zealot Rush and then come up with that proxy gate and proxy Templar archives. I mean, that was just incredible to give him a chance at that game. I mean, if he just played normal after that probe loss, he would have surely died. So really smart play by Jeff. It's unfortunate he had to lose game 1, but I mean, all the credit to Draco for coming up with that build.
Yeah, that was just, as far as tactics go, that was amazing. That, you know, Draco, so many replays out right now of him trying to win this money playing PvP on these maps. So he's showing that he knows this. He's planned out, you know, very good builds. We can see. I cannot wait to see what he does in the next game.
Yeah, for sure. And with that being said, I mean, the map didn't really come into play too much in that game. That game could have taken place on any map, really. This game is going to be on Bluestorm, which has a really specific 2-gate opening into expansion. So we're going to see just Zealot opening, expansion, and then really any number of things can happen. We've seen Storm drops are particularly strong on this map. Reaver play by JF, of course, is always expected. And Draco, just with his crazy macro, usually takes a late game with just a ton of units. So, I mean, a really dynamic map that has a lot of possibilities.
Indeed it does, but you know, it's probably we're going to see what we've seen every time on this map, to open with at least, with that 2 gateway Zealot into expansion. But, you know, just seeing how they react after that, we've seen so many interesting PvPs here. For instance, White Raw against Draco, we saw White Raw do a DT drop. I mean, I thought those were only against Terran, then I thought those were only against Terran and Zerg, but apparently it works against all races. So, you know, there could be some really interesting builds coming out of these guys.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited. I mean, JF didn't get to use his Reavers there. He really got pushed back on the defensive. I'm sure he would have gone to Reaver had the opening not gone like that. And I'm also sure that we're going to see some Reavers here out of JF in Game 2 on Bluestorm. Without delaying it anymore, let's hit it, Hotbid.